Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys some Great League battles because there is a new season. So we will be using Accelgor and trying him out in the Great League. So watch to the end to see how that plays out. If you guys haven't already, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, and turning notifications on. And with that being said, let's get on with today's video. Alright guys, for the first round, my opponent's first Pokemon is Mr. Mime. So I haven't seen a Mr. Mime in Great League, but Mr. Mime is a Psychic and Fairy type Pokemon. Lapras is doing fairly good amount of damage against that Mr. Mime. We do see a shield go through with that Surf. Surf would have probably fainted him. Mr. Mime is pretty lasty from what I can tell, since I am just chunking him down with only Frost Breath. I am going to mirror his shields, since that would have done a fairly good amount of damage against my Lapras. I am just going to go for the hard farm down, and I do get a Surf charged up. My opponent does swap out into a second Pokemon, which is Abomasnow. Abomasnow is a Ice and Grass-like Pokemon. He may have Razor Leaf since he did swap out into Lapras. Razor Leaf will be doing super effective damage. Oh, no, he only has Powder Snow, so I may have to shield everything. Since Powder Snow is barely doing any damage against us, he cannot go for the farm down right here. It will be really difficult. My Lapras may be able to faint him if he does go for the farm down. So my Lapras is still doing a good amount of damage against that Abomasnow. He does finally throw in a charge move against my Lapras. I'm not going to shield right here since it will be no point, since I have no health left on my Lapras. I am going to swap out into a Accelgor. My opponent does swap out this final Pokemon, which is Eploud, I think. So he is a normal type Pokemon. He did throw in a charge move right here. I am going to throw in a shield just to be safe. It was only a Crunch. Crunch will be doing not very effective damage against my Crawdont, since Crawdont is a water and dark type Pokemon. As you guys know, dark types are not very effective against dark types. My opponent, we do see a shield for my opponent. I did use a Bubble Beam there, so he did get an attack debuff. He is 1 HP left. One more hit to my Waterfall before he does go down. My opponent does throw in another charge move right here, another Crunch. One more hit left, and he finally does go down, allowing me to win the first round win. Good game to my opponent. For the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Pelipper. So he is a flying and water type Pokemon, meaning I will be doing plenty of neutral damage against him, since ice types will be doing not very effective damage against water types, but super effective damage against flying types that does cause neutral damage to happen. So I do have a Surf charged up right here. Surf will be doing not very effective damage, since water types will be doing not very effective damage against water types. My opponent does throw in a shield though, so I am left with 2 shields left. He is left with 1. Both of us are same amount of health, even when he did throw in that charge move. I am going to mirror that shield that he threw on for my Surf. I'm going to mirror the shield so I don't take any more damage. I do have another Surf charged up. If we do see a shield, that will be very nice, because then I won't be able to shield anymore, since my Crawdont can come in and my Accelgor's Bug Buzz is pretty strong against some Pokemon. My opponent does swap out into Umbreon. I do know that bug types will be doing super effective damage against dark types. So once my Lapras faints, I will be swapping out into Accelgor. Crawdont will be doing neutral damage with Waterfall, but Night Slash will be doing not very effective damage. His dark types will also be doing not very effective damage against my Crawdont. So my opponent does throw in a charge move. I think he decides that he cannot go for the farm down. I will swap out Accelgor once again to get that super effective damage off. My opponent does swap out into Victini, and I will swap out into Crawdont. That is really nice for us, since Victini is a fire and psychic type Pokemon. I will counter both his fire and dark type moves. Water types will be doing super effective damage, since water is super effective against fire types. So even though that did do not very effective damage, that did take such a big amount of health onto my Crawdons. I did make the mistake by using Night Slash instead of Bubble Beam, but we still get his shield off. Though I should have used Bubble Beam to get neutral damage off and to get the attack debuff, because either way, if he did shield, then I would still be able to get the Bubble Beam off or the attack buff off. So my opponent is probably over farming, but he chose not to throw any charge room for some reason. And Bug Buzz does come through, and it does one-shot him from the health that he's at, allowing me to win the second round. Good game to my opponent. For the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Bellum. So this is a really bad start for us since Grass types and Fighting types will be doing super effective damage against Lapras. Grass types are super effective against Water types, and Fighting types will be super effective damage against Ice types. So my opponent does swap out into his Skarmory, which is an even bigger lead for us. I think that he should have just stuck to the Breloom, took the one-on-one, but my opponent does swap out into Skarmory. This is better for us since Frostbite will be doing lots of neutral damage against him. Surf will also be doing so much neutral damage against him. If we do see a shield go through, that will be really nice. It will allow us to swap out into Crawdons. If he does throw a new shield, I cannot swap out into a Accelgor since bug types will be double resisted by both flying types and metal types. So my opponent does throw a new sky attack that would have absolutely fainted us. So I will swap out into Crawdons and not allow him to get that farm down on my Lapras. My opponent does swap back out into Breloom. I am going to throw in a shield since he did use a shield on my Surf for that Skarmory. Waterfall is taking off chunks off of his Pokemon. By the way, if you guys do want to use Crawdons, double charge moves are pretty cheap. I think it was on 10,000. Bubble Beam is an attack debuff. Night Slash is just a attack buff or maybe an attack buff. So I do recommend Crawdons, but he is pretty glassy. As you guys saw there, he instantly wiped out so much of his team. Breloom, as you guys know, water types will be doing not very effective damage against grass types, but he still did a good amount of damage, and it did allow me to win that third round. Good game to my opponent. For the fourth round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Skarmory. So Skarmory is a metal and flying type Pokemon. Once again, ice types will be doing neutral damage against him. So my opponent does throw in a sky attack, I think, from how fast he got his charge moves. It cannot be a flash cannon or brave bird. It has to be a sky attack. It was a sky attack. I am going to throw in my Surf here as well. Surf will be doing so much neutral damage against Skarmory. If he does throw in a shield, that would be really nice for us. So Lapras in this team is mainly used as the shield pusher. So my opponent does swap out into a stun tank. So Stun Tank is a poison and dark type Pokemon. I could have swapped out into a Accelgor, but I did decide to swap out into Crawdons and try to get a really good farm down. It is only a flamethrower. I should not have shielded that. Flamethrower would have done not very effective damage, since fire types are not very effective damage. Do not very effective damage against water types. I am going to throw in a Bubble Beam. This will give him an attack debuff, so it will preserve my health, and we do get a shield out of it as well. So I am just going to go for the hard farm down. I am one shot away from getting that Bubble Beam and Night Slash. I am going to throw in the Bubble Beam right here since it is a G-Fisk. G-Fisk is a metal and ground type Pokemon. Bubble Beam will be doing super effective damage against him, but since Bubble Beam is mainly supposed to be an attack debuff, it barely did any damage, so he does get a really good farm down onto us. I do swap out into Lapras, and I'm not going to shield here. Even though I do have a Surf ready, he may have more than one Rock Slide charged up. Rock Slide will be doing super effective damage against a Accelgor, so I will have to finish him off quickly. I am still going to go for the farm down here. Accelgor is a bug type Pokemon, and rock types are super effective against bug types. So he just throwing a Rock Slide, and I am just going to go for the farm down one more hit, and he does not get to another Rock Slide. My opponent's final Pokemon is a Skarmory, so this is not winnable since bug types will be double resisted by metal and flying types, while he is doing super effective damage with that flying type. It's taking off chunks even as a fast move, and it does allow me to lose that fourth and good game to my opponent. For the fifth and final round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Skymini. Skymini is once again, we have Skymini sliced like 3 times. Once again, Ice types will be doing neutral damage against him, since Ice is super effective against flying types, but not very effective against metal types. So for this round, I do get the serve first. I don't think that he tapped fast enough, or he might have misclicked. And I do throw in a serve. We do see a shield go through right there. I am just going to stick a one-on-one. My opponent does swap out into Absol, and that does allow me to swap out into Accelgor, since bug types will be doing super effective damage against dark types. He does throw in a charge move right here, and I am going to shield, since he did shield that serve with that Skymini. So it is a Thunder that would have done plenty of neutral damage, but I should not have shielded that, since my Accelgor could have survived that hit. I do have a Bug Buzz charged up. He does swap out into his second Pokemon, which is once again Skybang. Bug Buzz will be double resisted once again. But we do actually see a shield here. I think he does know that Accelgor can win Focus Blast. If you guys do want double charge moves for Accelgor as well, Focus Blast is a pretty good charge move. I do charge up into another Bug Buzz before he does faint my Accelgor. Did not very effective damage, and we do even get a defense debuff on him. I'm going to swap back out into Slapper, since he can tank more sky attacks than my Groudon. Groudon is once again pretty glassy, but his attacks do so much damage. He did throw in a Flash Cannon that probably would have fainted us, but I did have another shield there, and I do get a really good farm down onto him. My opponent's final Pokemon is only a Tauros. Tauros is an only normal type Pokemon. He is doing neutral damage against my Lapras, water types and ice types, and dark types will be doing neutral damage against him. Dark types from my Groudon and ice, water and dark types from my Groudon, and ice and water types from my Lapras. So one more serve, one more attack with that Frost Breath, and he does finally go down, allowing me to win that 5th round win. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, so that will be the end of today's video. If you guys do enjoy, please consider dropping me a like, subscribing, and turning notifications on. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. It will really help a lot. It will really help this channel a lot if you guys did consider supporting us. Or once again, leaving a like, subscribing, turning notifications on. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.